Yeah. Are you guys awake now?
I feel
I
Late
don't
like
know
Night
if I
Live. This
was
is
getting. I don't know
episode.
if I was getting ready to jump into the Mortal Kombat arena,
Mortal
or
Kombat.
I
That's what I was
was
thinking too.
Yeah.
getting ready to get on the
You got-
DDR pad. One of the two.
I think it was good to wake you guys up because this should be a
I'm
good
ready to
show.
test my might. You know,
That's right.
Let's go. This is Late Night Live, episode 37. We got Asa Jack's Media Grounds. Chris, what's up, my friend?
Hey,
Play any games last night or last week? You could have played
I
last week.
finished Astrobot. I've been playing Dark Side Detective on my Switch. It's a point and click kind of adventure game.
Nice.
And then It Takes Two. I'm playing that one, but yeah, I haven't had a whole lot of time for games this week. Been too tired. Too much going on at work right now.
Dark Empire posted a message. Have a great show tonight, boys. It was fun last week watching you guys debate what a role playing game is. Hope you do more of that. It makes the show a lot more interesting. Yeah, thanks, Adam. Appreciate that. Meatball Saucy's in the chat. Hello, happy Friday, gents. Thanks for joining, Meatball. We missed you.
Hey, Meatball.
8-bit, yeah, 8-bit gaming legend Dathan. How are you, sir?
Hello, class.
Did you get to play any video games last week?
Just some Astrobot. That was about it.
Okay.
Like Chris, a busy week. A lot going on.
Yeah.
Did you beat it yet?
Not yet.
Eric, how are you, sir?
Hello, friends.
Any games last week?
Not a ton. I did play more of Link's Awakening DX, and I beat the 8th level without needing Nintendo Power's help. And
No hotline. Yeah.
it was tough, but I did it. And now you go to the last mountain and you play the tune, and the egg opens up and you go inside. And now I'm stuck in that dungeon, so we'll see.
All right. I'm sure you'll figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
And Travis, how are you, sir?
I'm good. How are you? I am doing well. I played and beat Uncharted Lost Legacy, and then I started Star Wars Outlaws after beating that one.
Oh,
While I
okay,
wait for
great.
the God of War Ragnarok.
How did you buy Outlaws?
I didn't buy it. I because it's a lot of money. And now that I'm playing it, I'm glad I didn't, I think. Um but it is I'm doing the Prime Plus or whatever they call it, the Ubisoft subscription, so it was $17 a month, I believe,
Mm-hmm.
as opposed to the $70 that it would cost to buy the minimal version of the game.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess that at that point it won. What does make me a little upset, though, is that my daughter has a subscription to Ubisoft under my account name, so I just signed up for it and paid for it for her to play Rocksmith, which is a guitar instructional sort of game, right? Well, she can't play that, even though that's a separate subscription, separate thing, while I'm playing Star Wars. It boots her out,
That's
and
lame.
vice versa. Yeah, they should have that fixed. I mean, that's a completely separate charge. So that's another, I guess, probably a rare complaint about Ubisoft, but I'll add that to the pile of complaints people have against that company.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and there's no option for Family Pass that I can find either.
Hmm.
So I mean, even Steam allows you to do mix and match PCs in the house and things like that. So I'm surprised that Ubisoft would be new to this game and make such a mistake. So
Well, hey, this is your platform to voice any complaints against him. Well,
yeah,
you know, we're
it's going to get right to to him.
exactly
Probably
so
affect
we'll throw
change
it out
starting
there.
Monday.
You never know.
I know.
Exactly. They said they wouldn't be re-releasing Marvel vs. Capcom, and here we are. So
It
I've been,
got it done.
yeah, they got it done. I've been playing that the last couple days. I did get it digitally on Switch and PlayStation. So I went crazy there. And then we've been playing Astrobot like crazy at the house. My wife just beat the story in the game. So we just watched her do that. But I beat it a couple days ago. Uh, and I also want to announce I think I got my first free game as being a YouTube creator. I got reached out to, and they want me to review a game. So I think I'm going to do it. Might as well.
Cool.
I got a Steam code tonight for Iron Meat.
You're
I
gonna
know
have
I've
to put your disclaimer
about
out
it.
there that although you were given the game for free, the thoughts and opinions of the game are your own.
Right.
And yeah. Don't forget
So
your disclaimer.
yeah, but I was playing it earlier. I think I might have video of it. I can show you guys, but
Oh, you're not under NDA. You can talk about it freely.
no, I don't think so. Yeah. Oh, Adam, you're still here. All right. Good. Yeah. So it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. I've never. I didn't even look to get a code, so they just like
Yeah,
reached out to me, and I just looked checking my emails, like, oh, here you go.
Yeah,
Like,
that
that
is
is
cool.
cool.
That is way cool.
But really fun week. I want to get to the PlayStation Pro stuff. There was a announcement on Tuesday that I think a lot of people are shaking their heads about. It was really weird. Oh, has it been a free demo about it? I guess I hadn't. Where have I been? I don't know. It has been in free. How long? I don't know how many levels are in the demo, but I think I have the full version. So maybe they just sent me the demo. Put one over on me. Oh, okay, it's been on your wish list. All right, all right. Yeah, it's gonna be cool. Uh, but I want to talk about the PlayStation Pro stuff. I definitely want to talk about the Marvel vs. Capcom. Kind of my thoughts on it. Uh, but I gotta start off with this. Dathan texted us this afternoon. Like, I don't know. I was like busy with work. I was into stuff, and like I got this text, and I got my heart started pumping. Like, and I said you guys last week, this I think this might happen, and sure freaking enough. Oh God, can I even put it on here? There we go. Stern is bringing Uncanny X-Men to Portland Retro Gaming Expo. So this is confirmed, you guys. How exciting is this? Hello, I mean, man, this is awesome. I can't
Well,
wait. I can't wait.
it's cool, and I'm not going to stand in line for 2 hours. Like,
I don't think you're gonna have to. I don't think you're gonna have to.
I'm excited to play it. I'm looking forward to it.
There's gonna be a panel at 2 p.m. featuring the makers of the game. So, well, let's pencil that in. 2 o'clock, room C120, and we're gonna be there. We'll get pictures with Jack Danger. What a great name! But it's so dope, so dope. Oh, and the Meatball Saucy. There is also the first launch event at Next Level happening the same weekend. Oh boy, they're gonna kill me. Am I gonna have to go there too? I had not seen that. Thank you, Meatball. Seriously?
From what I read, is that this is the first unveiling is going to be a PRGE for it, like to the public to play. From what it sounds like.
Yeah. I wonder if they're just gonna move that model over to.
If they were smart, they would have one of the rooms and have like 6 machines in there. That's what they should do.
Right.
Instead of having it on the show floor with everything else, They should have just use up one of the smaller panel rooms, and just you can go in there and play one of the 6 that are in there.
That'd be cool. So, man, this is so exciting. We're gonna be some of the first people in America to be able to play this sucker. I can't wait. Uh, a lot of people that I follow on YouTube, everyone was really excited to play this at the Pinball Expo in Chicago next month. We aren't gonna have to wait. It's just gonna be at PRGE. So, I tried telling a lot of you guys, come out here, come out to the West Coast, but they didn't take us seriously. Maybe take us seriously next time. Yeah. So anyway, that is so cool. I am. What a great thing to announce. Astrobot. So let's talk about that real quick. Man, what a great game. Oh, weeks away. Yeah, we'll get there. Chris, Dathan, I mean, what do you think? Such a great game. I'm out of words.
I've only played it for a few hours, but I haven't been able to play it on the console. I've only played it on the Portal, so I haven't utilized the full control aspects of everything. The Portal does give some feedback and stuff like that, but not as much as the controller does.
Yeah, I tried it on the Portal. It's not bad.
It's good, but it's not what I would expect it from what we played at the demo at PAX is what
right.
I'm looking for. But it's fun. It's a good game. There's a lot to do, a lot to see.
You can really tell that they took a lot from other Nintendo games. They took the blueprint of other games and they've kind of improved upon them with this one.
Oh yeah. Well, I know you were talking about Mario Galaxy, but I feel like they stole from Mario Sunshine.
Well, there's a ton of them. Like there's the frog gloves you get, which is off of that Nintendo game ARMS. If you'd seen that one. So there's I mean, the game is very polished. It runs great. I didn't come across any like glitches in it. I didn't have any crashes. But you can tell that they took the blueprint from other games and they just kind of improved upon what they've seen, which is really what, I mean, at this point in gaming and everything, it's what you want to see companies do, developers do, is that you want to see them take what's come before and improve upon it.
Well, that's the thing, though. Like, a lot of companies aren't making games like this. Like,
no,
I feel like a lot of companies are making these Last of Us or Ubisoft open world games. Like, it doesn't need to be this complicated, you guys. Nintendo set the groundwork here. Just follow their plan. It's right there. It's like a simple. It's not, well, it's more than simple, but it's just that gameplay style is great. Like it gets you out of your doldrums of work and whatever. It's like it's just fun. It's fun. It surprises you. It delights you. That's what I want from a video game. It's like, whoa, like I just got that character in this game. Like that's so cool. Like it's exciting, and the gameplay always is exciting and fun. Like why can't more companies do that? Right?
It's well, and I don't know if you'd seen the. It was a former director for Days Gone kind of lost his mind because they had the character from that game in Astrobot,
and they didn't
as a good thing, or a bad thing.
Yeah, hopefully.
Well, he left the company because they wanted to make a Days Gone 2, and Sony was like, no, we're not going to pay for it. The first one didn't sell well enough, and so he left. I believe it's Ben Studios is the name of the company that made Days Gone, and he was on X, and he's like, I can't believe they took my character and they reduced it down to a stupid bot in this game, and he was just going off the rails. And people were like, dude, Days Gone's a great game, and so's Astrobot. What does it matter if your character's in there as a robot? And he was just like losing his mind at people.
Mm.
Like, this is what Sony does to your IP and everything. But there were so many like characters in there, and I was just like, what game is this from?
Oh yeah, you have to look it up. Some of them, yeah, some of them got pretty obscure, but some of them also like I knew instantly.
Yeah, well, God of War, it was like an instant thing.
Oh yeah,
Horizon Zero Dawn, the character from that one. There were some Resident Evil characters in there that it's like know right away.
well there was some Capcom stuff in there, and like I don't know if PlayStation has exclusivity over Capcom stuff, but they put them in there. It's like cool.
Yeah. But
So
yeah, there's some in there that it was just like, okay, what game was this from? There's a couple that I came across that were like tech characters that Sony had thought about making like the face of the brand for a time, and they never actually made the games, but they put the character in there.
yeah,
And it's like, oh, okay, that's kind of a cool little history lesson about Sony. But
yeah. And I think we talked about it last week. Sony's 20 years old now, or the PlayStation is. It's like ridiculous. I got some guys in the chat that want to talk about Marvel vs. Capcom. JBlue88 Hood Gamer, thanks for joining, my friend. He's glad Capcom has finally realized how great their classics are. Absolutely. This collection, I wonder, can I do have my Switch here.
Travis has gone dark.
Huh? I'm here.
Your dark mode.
Yep.
Did
Yeah.
the screen go dark?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Weird. On my end, it shows that everything looks normal.
That's all right. I'm gonna turn off.
Would everybody agree that Sony's had a pretty trying month with, you start with Concord,
Yeah.
then you got Astrobot, and then you got your PlayStation Pro. You go way down.
Well, and I kind of feel like Microsoft was like, "Oh, we see what you're doing, Sony. So we'll take that, and we're gonna lay off 650 more people. We're gonna announce like this, just the new Game Pass subscription model rolled out, and people are really upset with the standard because they've removed so many games from that." And it's just like, yeah, can we just stop with the hold my beer? I want to make this worse in the gaming industry.
Travis, you're back.
I know. I rebooted. This looks like a ABC The More You Know.
Since you guys were talking about the PlayStation Pro, might as well, we'll bring it up. Yeah, they have had a good week.
Yeah.
Well, the up and down week. So $700 for this sucker. But they're saying it's got an upgraded GPU, upgrading to a GPU that has 67% more compute units than the current PlayStation 5 and a 28% faster memory. Overall, this enables 45% faster rendering for the gameplay. And it's got advanced ray tracing and AI-driven upscaling. So for me right now, this is a big no. Like, I'm actually curious who is actually going out there and wanting to get this. PlayStation hardcore fanboy is what I'm imagining in my head. Like they gotta get everything when it comes out, and I don't know, maybe price is no object, but I'm not saying that maybe the price is justified. Like a high end PC is with
Yeah, but
this
this
kind of
isn't.
specs.
No, this is cheaper than that. Like, you know
Well,
what I
I'm
mean?
saying it
But
could be
yet,
cheaper than a high end PC.
yeah, but it's a weird fit. So I think that the idea is that they would capture new customers like myself, right? Where I don't have a PlayStation or an Xbox, and I've thought about it from time to time. But the issue is that for the price that they're asking, you're only getting 4K at 60 frames per second, and I guarantee that that's with some form of, you know, less bells and whistles than what you're going to get with a PC that probably will only set you back another maybe 200 above that. I could probably
And well,
build you one that can get you 4K 60 frames per
yeah,
second
and
for
I got to
about
go
that
back
price
at
point.
you. Yeah, but I don't think this is for a first time PlayStation user. I think if
Oh, you
you're a
don't think
first
so?
time place,
Okay.
no, I think if you're a first time PlayStation user, you're gonna get the base model. There's no
Uh-huh.
way. I mean, I don't.
I mean,
I
the reason why I would say that is, well, in other words, I think that that's the only customer that they can hope for with the price point and with it not being much of an upgrade, is that they're going to entice somebody who's been on the fence and that maybe they might buy finally.
yeah,
Because otherwise,
it's
who's your
possible.
market on this? Like you said, like, other than that, it would just be collectors, and that doesn't make any sense.
Okay, well that's Dathan. Dathan, how many are you buying?
This is a pass for me. I don't see I don't see a benefit to this at right now at this time. I mean, $700 is way too much, and no disk drive.
Yeah, no disk drive at
No
all.
disk drive, or like he said, there's no stand.
Yeah, so you got to buy
Yeah.
the stand is extra, so it's
Yeah.
$700, and it doesn't come with a freaking stand.
So in total, if you were to get the system, the stand, and the hard drive, it's $810.
Oh, was it 810? I thought it was like 780 or something like
Yeah,
that.
because the
Yikes.
stand is $30.
Ah, that's
Well, that's if
crazy.
you can get the disc drive, since people are
People are
buying
hoarding
those
them.
Is that
up
right?
like crazy, and they're up on eBay right now for like $150 is the cheapest one I've seen so far.
Yeah. Wow.
So yeah, but it's interesting because consoles have always been sold at a loss,
Hmm.
Yeah.
and it's the software is where they make their money. But Sony has said the PlayStation 5 is their most profitable console ever. So they're making a profit on every console they sell
Yeah.
with the PlayStation 5. So why?
What do we mean by most profitable? This is this is the lies, damn lies, and statistics problem. Like,
Yeah,
is it the absolute value of the number of dollars coming in? Okay, fine, but the value of the dollar now isn't what the value of the dollar was 20 years ago. So PlayStation could have taken in less money but been more profitable. Yeah, I would like to see
Well,
a little more detail on that.
vice versa to that point, Eric, is if historically all they did was take a loss, all they'd have to do is make 50 cents each console and it'd be the most profitable console they've had, right?
Right, exactly. Yeah,
So,
that's an option too. Yeah,
yeah. So I mean, if hardware is so cheap now and their manufacturing partners are so inexpensive wherever they're manufacturing these, that they're able to now flip a profit, whereas before they were just focusing on the software, then that might be a thing.
Oh yeah, and Dark Empire says they also raised the price of their controllers $5.
Yeah, yeah, I saw that, and that actually set me a little bit into a tizzy because I had the drift with the one that I've been using, so I
Right.
replaced that. And I was like, well, geez, do I need to start hoarding these things now? Because I only owned that one DualSense that got the drift on it probably 5 or 6 months, and it developed the drift. So I don't know if that's a common thing or if I just got a lemon with it, but yeah, it was enough to where the controller is garbage now.
Don't mind me. I'm just gonna
So okay, so I read the Bloomberg article on PlayStation 5 today, and the thing that jumped out at me was this section where they said, in a 9-minute presentation revealing the new iteration of the PS5 and touting its impressive hardware specs, lead architect Mark Cerny showed footage of games including The Last of Us Part 2, Ghosts of Tsushima, Hogwarts Legacy, Horizon Forbidden West, and Gran Turismo 7. One common factor: they were all also released on PlayStation 4 and looked perfectly fine on the 2013 console.
Yeah.
So, like,
Yeah.
what's the point?
Well,
Um,
and that's the thing
the
that I was going to
the
say.
games
Actually,
have not been the best quality this year. I'd say Astrobot is the outlier. So
yeah.
is that
Okay.
a system seller? I don't know.
So are there games that would? So you're saying there's not very many quality games this year,
Right.
and would the small subset of quality games be that much more impressive on a PlayStation 5 Pro than the PlayStation 5?
No, I don't think
I
they
don't
would.
think so. No.
I think you're gonna, because even the AI upscaling they're using is supposed to be like DLSS.
yeah.
And I mean, all the video footage from that presentation, the shadows in the upscaled version were smudged and like they weren't clear
Oh.
compared to the PS5. Like Spider-Man 2, you could see shadows in the background in the original PS5 version that are perfectly clear. You can tell what they're shadows of. Whereas the PS5 Pro upscaling, it's just like a smudge and you can't tell what it's supposed to be a shadow from. Um,
Is that their AI upscaling?
that's their AI
Yeah.
upscaling. So maybe given time, it would fix it and it would look better. But um, I mean, based off of
Nvidia's
what,
Nvidia's new DLSS looks really good, but it did take a while to get there.
yeah,
Like it, so maybe that's it. Maybe it'll take a couple iterations. But to your point, though, it wouldn't be worth it at that point. And as somebody who has a video card that's powerful enough to run ray tracing on games that offer it and still keep a really good frames per second at FPS at 4K, I I struggle to see it. I don't really think it's all that impressive when I'm playing. I mean, it looks great in stills and it looks great if I'm looking for it, but when I'm playing, like for example, Witcher 3, I don't really notice much of a difference on it.
yeah. Most of these games that people are like, oh, I need it for the graphics. It's like
Yeah.
at this point in video game development and everything, what we have out there, I mean, unless you're actively looking for it, most games all look the same. They're graphically, they don't look any better now than they did 4 years ago. It's all, at least to me, a lot of these games just look exactly the same.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I prefer a game like Astrobot in this, which is aesthetically, there's such a large color palette to it. You can tell all the differences and everything. So
Now the last one to like blow me away graphically, like to where I actually stopped and I said, okay, that's cool, was actually Control. And so that was during pandemic when I was playing that. So it was a couple years ago, right? And so that's the last time that I can remember being like actually stopping, pausing the game and or stopping my character's movement and looking around and just looking at the environment and how the effects were happening in real time and thinking like, okay, that's really cool. Now obviously VR is a different thing, so I'm discounting anything that I've done in VR, but just on on just a standard TV display, that was the last game to do it. So yeah, it's been a few years.
well, I mean, there
Now,
was even one on the original PS4 called 1886, I think,
Mm-hmm.
which was like the Order 1886 and 2015 third person action game.
Mm-hmm.
But you can look at like video clips from it, and it's a pretty amazing looking game. It was more of a graphically impressive game. which is why I don't think it really kind of hit with the mainstream audience out at the time.
Yeah, I guess it just, to that point, it feels like gameplay is the differentiator now, not graphics. Whether or not the game is actually any fun, because the graphics playing field seems to be as leveled as it's going to get. If you're a AAA developer or studio and you hire good developers, you'll have just as good a graphics as anybody else is going to have.
I would say gameplay and then voice acting, storytelling.
Production values, sure.
Yeah, production value is a lot. Production value, I'd say, is right now. I feel like production value. Game developers, whether right or wrong, kind of to your original point when we opened the store, or I'm not the store, but the show was that game developers have sometimes lost the path of like what's fun, and so you have a lot of game developers who focus only on the production value and not on whether the gameplay is any fun or not.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and it's there was one of the developers from Concord that had worked on the design of the characters, and they had sent out that they weren't happy with the designs, and somebody had actually tweeted back to them, was like, hey, me and some friends want to like just do some new designs for the characters, let you look. And he's like, oh, you don't touch those designs, even though it was apparent that it was a executive decision that they had to make those designs, and they weren't happy with the designs of the characters to begin with. And it's like, okay, it sounds like you're trying to keep your job, and there's nothing wrong with that. But if you're not happy with the design of characters in a game you help develop and everything, why wouldn't you push back and be like, look, this isn't what we wanted to do in the first place?
Well, do you guys remember like when you wanted to get a new console? Like, seems like the number one reason for me was the graphics.
Graphics, yeah, sure.
Yeah, back in the day, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, so in a way, I guess Sony's trying to do that again. It's just really expensive.
But it's
right?
it's diminishing returns. I feel like I sound like a broken record, but Atari to Nintendo was a massive leap. Nintendo to Super Nintendo felt like a pretty massive leap.
It was big, yeah.
And then jumping to 3D in the 64 was a pretty big deal. But I would say, Wii to Wii U, or Wii to Wii U. What's the difference?
Gamepad.
Sure, but graphically, what's the difference?
No, it really is a case of, graphically, you're not getting much difference. I mean, it at this point they just need to push gameplay over graphics.
Though, speaking of that, Eric, PlayStation offered production value. Like, I remember I worked at Hollywood, I think, at the time that the PlayStation came out, and I took it home. And I fired up Resident Evil. Mm-hmm. And at the time, a console doing that was something I hadn't seen any of my friends' consoles do. Like, make a movie-like experience, like the intro to Resident Evil was and the beginning part of the gameplay was. So it almost feels like that's where that console kind of stepped into, like, this is the value add that we're offering. Not just graphic, but it's also production value can step up quite a bit because now we're on a different media, right? Now we're using a CD-ROM type media at the time. So yeah, I think that it is a mix of those two things.
Dark Empire. Phil Spencer says Xbox says games don't sell consoles. Travis, did you work at Hollywood Video?
I did.
Well, when you
Chris did too.
When you have no games, you can't really sell your consoles.
Well, but Xbox kind of tried though a little bit, right? Because they tried to make it a media thing, a multimedia, device that would be a streaming platform. Although I think at the time they were thinking like it'd be a DVD platform, it would replace that whole thing, right? You just have one thing. I think that Phil Spencer guy has just really been on that and just won't let up and admit that he was wrong.
Oh yeah, they're never
Well,
wrong.
the Xbox One, which is where they were trying to do that whole
Yeah.
multimedia thing, that was
Yep.
before Phil Spencer came in.
Yeah, that was before he was there, but yeah, sorry, I meant
And
the
it,
collective of Microsoft.
yeah, no, he's been stuck on the Game Pass. Game Pass is what we're selling. I mean, for the most part, from everything I've read online, it seems like it's worked for them
Yeah.
to get Game Pass on everything. But it's like, if you want an identity as a gaming console company, Microsoft has kind of decided to bow out of that, and they're instead just buying companies and pushing Game Pass.
Mhm.
But you guys don't try to change the conversation to Microsoft. This is PlayStation. So like
Yeah.
Xbox, actually, I think if you want to talk about Xbox, like maybe they're seeing the PlayStation 5 Pro come out $700.
Yeah.
They have not released their new console. This would be a perfect opportunity for them to come out with something a little better, but definitely not $700. And I think if any company in the world can put out a machine that is a little more cost effective, and it doesn't they can make up some of their money with the subscription services or some of the games, I'm not sure, but as one of the most biggest companies in the world, they can do it. So this would be an opportunity for them if they wanted to seize upon it, in my
Mhm.
opinion. And definitely, Nintendo's in their own world. Like they're gonna sell their new system like hotcakes or whatever it is. So
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm waiting for it.
yeah, $2.99. That'd be cool.
That's because Nintendo really is just they've always been kind of geared towards the kids, and then Sony and Microsoft have always gone after the adults.
Well, I don't agree with that either because I'm a big kid and I'll definitely be getting the Nintendo consoles.
You just agreed with it. You're a big kid. You're the
Yeah,
target
yeah,
audience.
you did just say it.
Well, and
The kids aren't buying them. Maybe they are. I don't know.
they're certainly playing them,
Mhm.
whether or
They're
not they're
playing them.
Yeah,
buying them.
having their parents buy them for Christmas,
Yeah.
That's how we got ours.
Right?
The deluxe
Exactly.
set with the light gun and Robbie the robot.
Robbie the Robot, yeah. And Power Glove.
No,
Yeah, you weren't playing with power then.
I was not.
I wanted that power glove so much after watching The Wizard.
Yeah, the Xbox did lay off another 650 people
Mhm.
this
Oh,
week.
I didn't
The
know
leak,
that they
the
did this
leaker
week. That's
says.
too bad.
Yeah, I think what they're doing is they're streamlining some of the people that were doing redundant tasks at Blizzard and some of the other companies they just bought. So 650 is a lot of people.
Yeah.
That's not a small number, but you got to run a business, I guess. I don't know.
No, I want there to be room though for. I mean, I think the reason why Microsoft comes up when we talk about Sony, and like every time I'm out listening to people talk about when consoles come up, they always, both brands always end up in the conversation, and I think it's because people want the options, they want to see the competition, and it gets kind of not scary, but it gets kind of I don't know. It gets kind of troublesome when it seems like there's only going to be Sony and Nintendo because they are so different. It was nice to have Xbox introduced where it was taking a stab at what Sony was doing, where they owned that field and Nintendo owned the other. It was nice to have them in there. So I don't want to see them go away, that's for sure.
No, this is when Sega needs to come back with another Dreamcast.
Yeah.
That would be amazing. But They'd do it, but they wouldn't have a disk drive. That'd just piss everyone off. The whole stuff about the disk drive too. I mean, people are if you were to if you didn't think the digital age is coming with no physical games, it's here. Like
Yeah.
this
Oh
is
yeah, it's here.
definitely proof, and I think the collectors are freaking out. It's like I don't know. There's no way you're going to be able to stop it if you want some of the new stuff that hasn't come out yet. I don't know if any of you heard about Annapurna. Yeah, we still need to know why exactly they left. But everyone there just quit, and I'm not too familiar with some of their games. Seems like Travis, you were just talking about like Control. I think they did Control.
I didn't think that they did Control, but I could be wrong. Yeah.
Who-
Stray, Outer Wilds, Neon
The
White.
Outer World, yeah, Outer Wilds,
What
right?
Remains of Edith Finch? That's the only one I played. Is Edith Finch?
I played that
Wasn't-
one as well.
Wasn't really a game. It was interactive
Nah.
fiction, which was fine, but
Yeah.
it was fun.
Yeah, no, they did. I think they were supposed to be helping on Control 2,
Ah,
but
okay. Yeah.
Control was made by
Okay.
Remedy.
Yeah, I thought it was entirely, but yeah, I didn't know whether it was like maybe, partnered with another development, house. But yeah. Oh, they did Gone Home as well. So yeah, they've done the interactive storytelling, it looks like.
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought Outer Wilds was similar to that, but I could be wrong on that. I didn't play it or experience it or whatever you call those types of games. Stray I got for my daughter, but I haven't played it myself. I did actually plan on playing it. I just keep forgetting that it's in my Steam library. That's one of those that was really well reviewed, and I did want to get around to. I just didn't do it.
Oh, they did Flower and Journey also. It looks like.
Yeah, okay. Stray was their biggest release.
Control
Well-
2 is Annapurna. Yeah.
They've got games they've got in the works. There's Ghost Bike, Wander Stop, Morsels Mixtape, Blade Runner 2033, Forever Go, The Lost Wild, Lush Foil Photography Sim. Ooh, that sounds like a good one. Skin Deep, another Silent Hill game. 2AT, We Kill Monsters, and Project D. So those are the known games that they had announced they were working on, and I guess they're probably going to be up in the air at this point.
I might be okay with Control 2 leaving their house. I mean, I would prefer it to not be messed with as far as, I'd prefer it to just be all by Remedy.
Well, I think Remedy's also working on the remake of
Max Payne,
Max Payne 1 and 2. So.
which I do think will be cool, but I'd rather them just although, the thing about Control is and Alan Wake was the same way. The stories are pretty, at least to maybe I'm too stupid to grasp them, but they seem pretty dang nonsensical. Like they seem to kind of just take these odd curves and then just kind of leave it as there and just call it a day. So
Well, I
you know.
guess they're using a lot of the SPC or SCP online stories for Control and Alan Wake and all that.
Mm,
So I don't know if you've ever read any of those.
no,
But,
I don't know what they are.
It's like a series of like short horror stories that people write.
Oh, okay.
There's like the SCP Foundation, and so they've got like stories of just like there's ones that deal with like an animated puppet, and it's all about like this classified organization that comes in and like contains these
Okay.
anomalies as they call them.
Yeah. Which is
And-
the Control story, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so Alan Wake, the whole thing is that's supposed to be one specific SCP.
Gotcha.
And that's why like interacts with control.
Gotcha.
So, I don't know. I'd listened to for a while a podcast for SCP when I was at work, and it just the stories started to get to the point where they were just the same mind-numbing, same thing over and over, and it's like, this isn't interesting. It's not enjoyable to listen to anymore, so I'm kind of done with that.
Yeah.
Would you hurry up, Ryan, and just win the game?
This game's so good. I'm so glad it's on modern consoles now. And it plays really well. I was playing it earlier with my kids. Like, I was having my kids go against each other, which is amazing. Just to watch as a father. Like, wow, my kids are playing each other at Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Like, yeah. I guess I could have had that happen on some other systems. Like, I've got this on Red. Did I lose again? I guess I did.
You did.
But
It announced it very, very brightly, just to rub it in.
But let's see. Turn that off. Yeah, here we go back to. But really cool. I'm really stoked that that's out. And
Yeah.
oh, there is one controversy with that game. Apparently, in Europe, if you were planning on getting a Switch copy, they announced that the Switch copy is just going to have a code in the box, no cartridge.
Hmm.
Did you guys hear that?
Not cool.
So a lot of people are really pissed right now. Now, the good news is Switch is region free. So if you wanted to and you're in Europe, you can always import it from North America or Japan. As far as we know, those versions will be on the cartridge for the Switch. Apparently, the PlayStation 4 version will be on the disc in Europe. But yeah. Good thing people don't play video games in Europe, I guess. I don't know. So, but yeah, it sucks. But
know.
Digital Age is coming, you guys. It's here. Was Meatball looking forward to installing on my At Games Legends Ultimate 1.0 tomorrow? Oh, okay. Nice. But yeah, it's been a fun week, and I know we talked about a lot of people thought gaming was dead after playing Astrobot and Marvel vs. Capcom this week. Is like, man, it's a good time right now. It's a good time if you're not doing some of these games, like, and I need to go back to Star Wars Outlaws too, but it's a really good time. And I think with the announcement today at Portland Retro Gaming Expo, it's we're gonna have a blast there. This might be with you guys all there. This is gonna be probably the best Portland Retro Gaming Expo I've ever had. I'm already calling that right now. So
I know I'm a week late to the party, but you enjoyed Outlaws?
yeah, you know what? I enjoyed it to the fact that I didn't like some of the sneaking stuff into the bases,
Yeah.
and
Uh-huh.
but apparently they're patching that. I don't know if you heard that.
Yeah. No, yeah, they patched it before I started. My my review of it so far is pretty dang mixed. I feel
Yeah.
like it's interesting that Ubisoft has, like, so I played through the Assassin's Creed Origins, Valhalla, and the one in Greece, Odyssey. And I felt like the stealth mechanics in there and the controls felt very fluid and good. Jumping into this one, I feel like they're pretty clunky, and I don't feel like it feels fluid. I feel like the character is difficult to drive, and I don't feel like she feels one with the environment at all. Whereas in the Assassin's Creed games that I played, the character all felt each one of those three, the characters felt one with the environment. But
Did
like
you
to go ahead.
did you upgrade your speeder yet?
My spear.
Your speeder.
Oh, my speeder. Yeah, yeah. I think I did the first upgrade on that, but I'm still in the part like I'm talking about just navigating around the stealth missions that you have.
Yeah,
Right. So
yeah.
like, did you do the big one where you've the very intro where you've got to go through and into the Imperial base and go do whatever, wipe out the factions, frame one or frame the other factions records, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
I'm on the ice planet now.
Okay. So I'm not that far into it. I've only put 4 hours, 3 hours into it, I think. But my review is just that I find it very weird that they would have taken a step back in the way that the character feels within those stealth missions, because I thought Ubisoft, they always did the Assassin's Creed games, right? So like I would think that they would be good at that. And I feel
It's a,
like in this situation, oh, go ahead.
it's a different game engine.
You think the game engine is the reason why it feels so clunky?
Yeah, because Ubisoft has their Anvil game engine, which they use for all their Assassin's Creed games,
Okay.
and this one uses their Snowdrop game engine. Um,
Huh.
and the Snowdrop is a more recent engine that they created,
Yeah.
but it really is. It's like, uh, you know, uh, why didn't they just stick with the Anvil game engine? Because it's clear that the Star Wars Outlaws has a lot of gameplay mechanics that are similar to Assassin's Creed. So
Yeah.
I don't know why they decided to use a completely different game engine.
Like I feel forced to be on. I mean, and I think that's kind of the point. You're forced in the beginning to use the stealth because it's you against, it's one person against, these impossible odds. But I'm sitting there going like, this does not feel good. Like it just doesn't feel as good as even the Uncharted game that I was playing feels better stealth wise than this does. And that's such a big concept behind this game with her being an outlaw, at least in the missions I've been in. And then like you can't go into factions. I guess it's a spoiler for people, but you can't go into faction areas that you're not friendly with. So if you've got to go get something from another faction, you've got to stealth all the way through that stupid thing to go find it. And with the stealth mechanic being so clunky, it's such a big turnoff. Like I can't wait for God of War to launch next week. Like I said, I was glad I didn't pay for it, like the full $70. Now they can fix all this, and it can be fixed. But the other thing that I just I just felt like that was clunky, and I also feel like the voice acting and the production is clunky on it. I know that you had mentioned, Ryan. I think it was you mentioned last week that it didn't have the John Williams soundtrack.
Yeah,
Um,
it
yeah,
doesn't.
that doesn't bother me. That like that part's okay, but I think that kind of to Eric and I have talked about this in the past. Playing, I don't have any love for the character. Like I don't feel the motivation to go around and steal stuff. I don't have any sympathy for her, and I don't really feel driven yet. Hopefully that'll change, right? Like hopefully I'm going to come up to something in the story that gives me something about her past, but I don't have any real like draw to the character itself, and that's a big deal to me, I think. So I don't
Yeah,
know.
I can see that
Yeah.
for sure.
Could you? Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But other than that, when I'd screw up the stealth mission and then all the stormtroopers would come at me for the fun of just blasting the heck out of stormtroopers and seeing how long I could actually stand as the odds are getting impossible, that's actually pretty fun.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Yeah.
No, I like. There's a lot of weapons in the game, so you're always picking up different kind of weapons and doing. You can do grenades. Uh, there's one you can get like a sniper rifle,
Hmm.
so you can pick off some of them with that. And then, did you do the one where you get the ATST and you have
No,
to
not
do
yet.
stealth around that? It's like pretty. That's pretty cool.
No, I think that I basically have just launched in, got through I think basically four of the main story quests, and then maybe one or two of the little side ones that were in the area. But I just now realized that there's a whole other area of the planet really to go explore. So I just speeder biked out to the one stop where you meet up with the one person at the diner, and then basically hightailed it back. So I haven't really done any exploration outside of that. And then as far as flying goes, just for the one mission that I did. But I will say that I thought the speeder bike actually felt good. And I think, wasn't that something that people were complaining about?
I'm using the new one of the new what controller is that? One of the new ones. I just put a video out, and it's got a
Uh-huh.
really good rumble on it when you do the speeder. So
Yeah.
like,
It
like oh,
the
that's cool.
the rumble, because I was playing it at night in bed. The rumble is pretty fierce on this one. Like they have it turned up to 10. Like the controller definitely like is just going like a lot nonstop.
Really
So
quick,
yeah,
Steps Gaming's in the chat, and you're coming to
yeah.
PRGE. Steps, did you see this? Uh, you're going to be one of the first people to play Uncanny X-Men at Portland Retro Gaming Expo. I can't freaking talk.
Have a good night,
Got to
Meatball.
run. Thank you,
Buddy.
Meatball. So it's going to be dope. Anyway,
Yeah.
hopefully you saw that. I wanted to. We could talk about some of Travis's topics that he had. Best RPG, your favorite RPG? Yeah, it is awesome. Bring your camera.
Actually, that
Take
was
some
Dathan's,
video.
I think. Dathan, I
Oh,
think that
okay.
was you who asked what was
Or
the
we
best
can
one,
talk
right?
about your worst gaming experience. Which one do you guys want to tackle?
No, wasn't it biggest
regret.
Oh,
and
biggest
A
regret. Okay.
purchase, the biggest
Yeah.
gaming purchase regret
You
that
guys
you
want to
had.
go with that?
I don't actually have an answer for it. Something
Why
must
did
have
you
made
guys
me
bring
mad
it
that
up?
day. No. I mean, like, I think that there are probably several. Um, I don't. Yeah,
I hold on, let me find it. I know
yeah.
what
I
it
bet
is.
you, Eric, it's the Power Glove.
No, I
No,
never
it's
owned
Robbie the
it.
robot.
I didn't really have
But
a
you
say in
feel
that.
guilty for making your mom buy that.
I didn't make anybody buy anything.
Yeah, you did. You asked.
Did you get that for Christmas?
I think Dave was the driving force behind the
Oh,
video
okay.
game stuff.
No.
But yeah, we got the deluxe set, which came with Robbie.
Dope. Gaming regrets. I'll have to think about that. I was gonna say my biggest disappointment was the Red Ring of Death on my 360 and having to return that. But I don't regret
Yeah,
buying the
but you don't regret
360.
buying the 360. No, but yeah, that was scary. Maybe you regret not buying the extended warranty, so you could just go swap it out at Best Buy same day, right?
Well, I got Microsoft. I'll give Microsoft credit. Like they did send me out the new console, but then eventually that one failed too,
Mhm.
and I had to go out and I just went out and bought. They had a new version of the 360 that didn't have any of the Red Ring of Death, so I
Yep.
got that, and that's the one I still have to this day. It still
Uh-huh.
works.
So I sent a link to the thing that I bought in the private chat.
Yep.
The NES laser scope was like a
Yeah, that's
headset
cool.
version of the light gun.
That's cool.
It's not cool. It was so dumb. It would just fire anytime you made any noise. It was billed as, you say a
Oh,
word, you say fire and it would shoot or something like that. But really, it was just any noise you made and it would shoot. And it was slower than just pulling a trigger. So like it was
so what was
completely
the point?
useless.
Gosh, why'd you ever think that was a good idea?
I don't know. I was young and
That's
impressionable.
just one of those that just doesn't make any sense that you would have thought that was a good idea.
Laser scope was horrid.
Yeah.
By Konami too.
Such a bad accessory.
And even to add insult to injury, it says, "Hey Eric, if you would have just read the reviews,
Yeah.
they were overwhelmingly negative."
There were no reviews back then.
I know. You would have had to wait for it to hit the publications.
That thing was horrible.
I do remember actually probably what I was thinking of, because you guys were talking about controllers. My biggest regret, like the biggest waste of money that I put into something that I didn't necessarily see coming was the Logitech steering wheel that I have, the force feedback steering wheel and pedal platform.
Oh, Logitech usually makes pretty good stuff. What's wrong with it?
It's great. I just never ever
You've
ever
never
use
used
it,
it?
and I should have
Yeah.
known better.
Yeah.
I should have just known. Like
Yeah.
I would have to go take it out, set it up every
Yep.
time
Mhm.
to do a race,
Yep.
and then put it all away.
Yep.
And in practicality, that never happens. That is such a barrier to me wanting to play a racing game. I just end up playing the racing games with a controller.
Yeah, I had the Sidewinder force feedback
Uh-huh.
wheel and pedals, and I would just clip it on the side of the desk, and you unclip it and clip it and then go. Like it would just always be right there when I was playing racing games. But
Yeah.
my setup now doesn't really afford that kind of space, so I don't.
Right.
There's no way I would use it now.
Well, and what's crazy to me is I keep retrying, and every single force feedback wheel I've bought, which is now this is the third, I believe, never gets used.
hmm
I just never use it. So you think I'd learn, right? But no. I guarantee that at some point here, when the next 2 years, I'm going to see somebody playing with one or something, and I'm going to go, I should give that another try.
Yep.
And
You still
shell
got
out
it.
another
Why
$400.
not?
Well, no, I mean, I'll go buy the new one, the next one that supposedly feels better or whatever, right? Last time I thought it'd be cool because my daughter was approaching the age of driving. Maybe she could learn how to drive, like, or at least get some experience, right, with that. Nah, had no interest in it. Like,
Oh, you
just,
know what?
okay,
Now
Dad,
that I think about
have
it,
fun with it yourself.
there was like a PC video game that I did kind of practice driving on before I was a
Yeah?
driver. No, I can't
Need for
remember what it
Speed?
was.
Test Drive 2?
Stunt
It might have
driving.
been one of those.
Stunt driving.
Stunt Driver, no.
went a long
Where you
way
do the
in teaching me-
loop-de-loop?
Yep, it
Yeah.
went a long way in teaching. But I mean maybe I forget if it was stunt drive, whatever the arcade version of stunt driving with the force feedback wheel and the wheel shifter. That game actually went a long way in teaching me how to drive stick because it was sophisticated enough to stall, and the engine would die if you didn't feather the clutch the right way, or if you shifted to if you missed a shift or something like that. But yeah, that game was actually pretty good at teaching you how to drive stick, except for the loop-de-loops.
I expect
pretty
since
cool.
Dathan is a collector that your answer would be nothing. Because you would just shelve it in the library, right?
As a
Like, I mean-
collector, there's I have a lot of regrets as a collector. Stuff that I should have bought
That you should have.
ages ago.
Oh,
Yeah.
sure.
Ages and ages ago.
Sure,
I
sure,
remember
sure.
seeing games that are worth $300-$400 now that were in like the $10 bins way back in the day.
Wow.
Yeah, but the question isn't what you missed. The question is what you bought.
What did you actually execute on? See, and you've got the good hobby where you can be like, well, nothing, because I just shelve it away. It's still a piece of history. Unless there was an entire collection that you regret getting. Like where you're like, maybe I shouldn't have gone and gotten all of the Tekken stuff or whatever, right?
All the N-Gage games.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't think of anything off the top of my head that. I'll have to come back to this one. This one's a little bit more difficult.
It's tricky, yeah. You had the out. I expected you to say nothing because I just collect. They all serve a purpose.
I did end up getting the Power Pad a long time ago when I was a kid, but
Yeah,
I
yeah,
actually
it's
had fun. I don't regret that. I actually had fun playing that.
That's the one where you jumped on the numbers or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You didn't actually have to use it. You could just like
you lay down on the ground and use your
punch
fist
it.
like everybody else.
You could do that. Yeah, I don't know. I can't think of anything really.
Okay. Yeah, I figured that you would have a nothing. Even when I threw it out that week, I was like, I bet Dathan's gonna say nothing. They all fill a hole.
Yeah, I mean, most everything does. I mean, everything has a purpose.
What about
it's supposed to be doing?
Any collector's
Whether that's
editions that you
whether
bought?
that's sitting on a shelf or that's entertaining me. I mean, everything's got a purpose. So
I wondered. So collector's editions would be an interesting one, but like Ryan said, but I actually wondered if you had a story of how you got duped.
in as in what?
like that you bought something counterfeit that you thought was valued at X amount of dollars and you got duped by somebody. And I thought maybe that would be your story.
Um,
I just want them
no,
to go up to some vendors at PRG and go,
Yeah,
"Hey, that's
come at them.
counterfeit," and see what they
Yeah.
say. We can
I don't
videotape that.
like. I don't know. I do my homework, but
Yeah,
before I
okay.
do something, if I buy something that's expensive, I do my homework.
Okay.
I don't go in half-assed and blind. You know, I make
Uh-huh.
sure that I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, but you know, it's funny that you brought up the vendors because when I go to Comic Cons a lot, I see a lot of vendors that have posters, movie posters, like the Ryan's poster that he has in the back, the Alien Romulus poster,
Mhm.
and these people will say, well, these are old. You know, they'll have a Star Wars poster, or they'll have a Goonies or something like that, and they say, oh, it's an original poster. But it's not. It's an original reprint, and because I think
Not folded or what?
before 1986, I think it was. Don't quote. I could be wrong on the dates. Posters came folded in
Folded.
envelopes
Yep.
because it was cheaper to send than it was in tubes. So
Yep.
you'll see like lines down the sides and lines
Yep.
on the corner where they folded it into a into fit in the envelope. So if you see those like framed, and that's majority of the time, it's probably an original.
I think your timeline is exactly right on that because I have the Star Trek 4 poster here in my garage, and that was 1986. The Star Trek 3 poster came folded, and that's why I don't own that one.
Mhm.
And the Star Trek 3 was, I don't know, what was that, 1983, 1984. So, yeah, that's my Star Trek knowledge coming back. But yeah, you're
Yeah, but
it's
but
absolutely
a lot
right
of those
there.
vendors, I've called them out on it a few times, and I say, hey, is that an original? Oh, it's an original reprint, and they get very skittish when you start talking to them and asking them questions. They don't want to talk about stuff like that
Yeah. Right.
anymore. Yeah, just a fun fact.
Mm-hmm.
But gaming wise, I can't think of anything really that I can off the top of my head. But there are some collector's editions that I have bought that I kind of wish I did not buy. That was kind of a
There you
waste.
go.
Oh yeah.
There you go. There you go.
Some of the Assassin's Creed ones, they had one that was a Jack in the Box, which was Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. That was not good. That was pretty crappy. And then they had there was another one that came with like a big manual or something like that. That was pretty crappy. That wasn't very good. That was money that was not well spent at all.
Ultima 9 Ascension. I bought the collector's edition of that, and that was expensive because Ultima games were expensive back then, and that was even more expensive. And the game ran like dog crap, and was buggy and no good. So yeah, I do remember that collector's edition being just a complete regret.
I regret a lot of those limited run ones. Some of them I haven't even opened yet, but
Your Contra one that we saw at that you said
yeah.
limited run, the gray box. There was a vendor that was selling that at Rose City for $340, I think it was. I think is what it was. I took a picture of it too.
It wasn't 340.
340?
It might have
Yeah.
been 200 right when it came out. Maybe I can't remember. But you know, all I just want the game in the Switch case. That's it. Maybe a steelbook. That's all I need. I don't know why. Like Contra is a great NES game, but I don't need I didn't need the special edition thing with the some of it. They come with some like stickers and I have to go relook what's in that. I also have like the Castlevania one they did. So yeah, I just like uh, just the normal game now. I think that's what I want to start doing. Although, of course, I think I might be getting that special edition of Indiana Jones when that comes out. We'll see. You get a paper with a code. Yeah.
Yeah, you get a paper with the code.
Yeah.
Not getting Dragon
It re-
Quest 8.
Yeah, a Steps regret is with the 3DS not getting Dragon Quest 8 on the 3DS before the eShop closed. Didn't that just happen?
Yeah.
Was that last year?
I think
No,
that was last year, and
Yeah.
the Xbox was last month.
Oh,
Right.
Xbox is what I'm
Yeah.
thinking.
What's going to be the next eShop to close? Is PlayStation going to shut down their
Ubisoft.
stuff?
I'm taking
Yeah.
them down.
well, they do have stockholders who are calling for Ubisoft to go private.
Yeah, I saw that. Actually, Epic Games seems like it should fold. And they were complaining that basically they've lost quite a bit, or they've had more misses than hits, I guess, in doing these exclusive games like they have with Alan Wake 2 and all these. I think that one, and they have like one other one. Oh, the Outlaws, actually, they have an exclusive partnership on that. That's why you can't get it on Steam. That one I don't think is going to be a success for them either. So I think that they've got a few too many of these. They said that where they're actually making the traction is with the free games that they're giving away, which is never a good sign for a business that you're advertising to people that, hey, the thing that we're doing really well on is all the free stuff we give away. That typically doesn't mean that you have a good business plan.
Jason's in the chat. Thank you, Jason. Smash that like for these fine, handsome gentlemen. That might be a stretch for some of us, but I appreciate it.
Do what we can.
I might have some gameplay from Iron Meat
Oh yeah.
if it loads. I guess I might not have checked how. This is like ultra quality, high quality video. Yeah, I think it's running.
Let's
Yeah, it
go.
looks good.
Maybe pause it. Oh, there it goes.
Looks like Contra.
Yeah, it's a Contra clone. Well,
Mhm.
it's a Contra style, but it plays really well. So this game comes out in 2 weeks, $20, which is, I think, a good deal. And of course, I'm playing it for free. Let's go.
It doesn't affect your review though.
No, of course not.
They're gonna be honest opinions that are all your own.
I don't. What are they? Are they going to affect me getting another game if I give them a bad review?
No.
I think the game's
No, it's
going to
just
be good. From what I've played, I've only played.
Whenever I see reviews, there's always that disclaimer that, on YouTube, whenever I see them, it's
Yeah.
always constant with the like, although this was given to me for free, thoughts and opinions are always my own.
This video, I think I've got it too high quality. It's taking too long to load. Forget it. But yeah,
Looks fun.
all right.
I like
Yeah.
Contra.
Yeah. Let's just get to it. What favorite RPG? Dathan?
Oh, favorite
Let's
RPG. Grandia 3 for the PS2. That
Why?
is mine.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Wow, that was just like, jeez, man, it just came at me.
What do
Yeah.
you like about that one? Like, what's memorable
Exactly.
about it?
I don't know. Gameplay was good. Story was good. Combat was good. Very good turn-based. Soundtrack was fantastic.
Okay.
Should I keep going?
What system was that on?
PS2.
Nintendo, right? Oh,
PS2.
PS2.
Okay.
PS2, yeah. Grandia 1 came out for PlayStation 1. Grandia 2 was on Dreamcast and PlayStation 2 later on, and then Grandia 3. So yeah, Grandia 3, favorite.
Eric, what's yours?
I spent a bit of time thinking about it, and I thought I was going to say like Baldur's Gate or Baldur's Gate 3, but being the old man and curmudgeon and designated retro guy, I guess I have to say Bard's Tale 3 is probably my favorite role playing game I've played, because it's the one that kind of got me into the genre. It's the first one I played on my Apple II computer in green monitor, no color. But yeah, it was fun because you had these like labyrinthine maps to navigate and all these different monsters that you would fight. I remember the animations being really cool to watch of the, when you fight the monsters, and you compose your party of different, the rogue and the wizard and whatnot, and equip them out different ways so that you can fight these different monsters. I just remember really enjoying playing Bard's Tale 3.
Okay.
In like 1985 or whatever it was.
Right.
1988.
1988.
Bard's Tale 3?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The Thief of
Fate.
Or whatever. Right.
Oh, the
remember the
graphics actually look
box.
not too bad.
Yeah.
Well, and they released Bard's Tale 4. You can play that on Game Pass.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I remember seeing that come out.
Oh, you know what? I think I have seen this game before. Yeah. Oh, that's cool.
At the swap meet, not this year, but last year, because I wasn't at it this year, but last year I remember somebody was selling a physical copy of the like box Bard's Tale 3 with all the stuff in it. It was expensive too.
Like that.
Yeah, although I saw it all in
Oh,
green because my monitor.
Yeah, monochrome monitor.
Monochrome monitor.
Right. Travis, favorite RPG?
Ultima 7, I think. Yeah. Ultima 5 would harken back to Eric's excuse of like, oh, it's so nostalgic, blah blah blah. But Ultima 7 did like that first, like, I'm not gonna say open world, but it had the same mystery that the Ultimas were good at. Like, you could take water, you could take wheat, make flour, take water, mix it with that, and make bread from out of nowhere, and be like, okay, now I'm a baker. That's weird. Like, it had that sort of, like, play with certain things and see what you can do in this world aspect that Ultima 5 had. But Ultima 7 had a good story. It was pretty epic in its story as far as the evolution as you played. It had a ton to do, but it had a fatal glitch that allowed me to never beat the game. So I spent like an entire summer playing that game, and only to have the key to the Black Gate stolen by some stupid gremlins as I was hightailing it from where I got the key all the way out to the island where you can unlock the Black Gate, and I could never find that key again. Because as I was running, some stupid gremlins that I just ran past, that was the one piece of inventory that they stole from me, was the game ending key to the thing. Apparently they patched the game later in production, but since the internet wasn't a thing back then, you couldn't patch the game. So I was just screwed. So I had to go to Eric's house and beat it on their save to watch the actual ending of the game. Yeah.
Okay.
But that still is, yeah, my favorite. That's not to say it's the best. It's just my favorite for it.
Sure.
The new games I think are doing the CRPG thing a lot better than what Ultima did. But it was the foundation of what we play. That and Bard's Tale and Zork maybe is kind of the foundation of what we play.
Ultima 7 looks like a dry run for their MMORPG, really. It seemed like they just tried to make Ultima 7 online.
When they did Ultima Online, I
Yeah.
think that that's what they were doing. I don't think Ultima 7 was that though, because you had Ultima 7 Part 2, and Ultima 8. I do think that was actually planned out and done, and as a single player game, I think that it's pretty unrivaled
Hmm.
for that kind of a thing at that time. It was. So I don't think it was just a dry run for it. I think that the Ultima Online thing, it was more like Richard Garriott had the idea of how do I make kind of a live D&D sort of thing. And now that the internet is a thing, and what engine can I just use that'll basically play on as many modern PCs as possible? And at
Hmm.
that time, the Ultima 7 one could have been recycled for that purpose.
Yeah. Okay.
I think that's why. Now, Ultima Online is its own interesting flavor to that debate because that was, for all intents and purposes, a real role playing game.
Yeah.
Like there were people that did just like the World of Warcraft guy did just stand around and make hats
Yeah. I remember
in that game.
The True Black's ink seller or whatever who would
Yeah,
buy your stuff True Black.
yeah, in that game, right?
It ain't
Yeah,
black unless it's True Black, right?
unless it's True Black. Yeah, and people did just do that. The other awesome thing is that somebody killed Lord British because they forgot to make him invincible.
Hmm.
And so that, and he still talks about that to this day. They had this all big game event where it was everybody in Ultima Online come and watch Lord British speak for that weekend, and immediately somebody's just like, boom, slingshot, you're dead. And they forgot to turn on the invincibility flag, and so it was just gone.
Great.
And he still talks about that, like to this day on his Twitter thing. He's still like, yeah, there's that time I got killed online. That wasn't a high point.
What's going on, your average gamer? I saw you were playing it on Marvel vs. Capcom tonight on Steam. I didn't get it
Yeah.
on Steam. I got it on PlayStation and I got it on Switch, bro. So I struck out. But anyway, I'll get you at you. We'll get you at it. I've been having a great time with the game. Looks like he had a stream tonight on his channel if you guys want to check it out. So it looks like everyone was having a great time with the game as far as I could tell. So yeah, good for you, your average gamer. But we're talking about favorite RPGs. Chris, what is your favorite RPG, sir?
Skies of Arcadia on the Dreamcast.
Oh,
That's an expensive one
I
now.
when I was a kid, I remember hearing a lot about that game. Well, kid, teen or whatever.
Yeah, you wanted to open up the map and everything. You had to explore, take your ship as a pirate, and actually go out. And it opened up and created the map. But that was my favorite game. So
You won't be running. I didn't run.
Sure.
Your average gamer, you saw what I did to Mike of all trades, right? When I played him on the arcade one up, right? I beat him 3-2. I just want to throw that out there. So that was, I don't know, when was that? Back last year, and he hasn't played me since. I haven't been invited back on his channel. So anyway, yeah, it's so good, so good. For me, I'm not. I wasn't totally into the RPGs. I think like you guys were, but I think if you guys will consider these RPGs, I really like two RPGs. I think they're RPGs, but Mass Effect 2, I think
Hmm.
I consider that an
Yeah,
RPG.
yeah,
Uh,
absolutely.
so much fun. The amount of choice you have with Shepard and the stuff you can do. I really enjoyed that game. And then the other one was Elder Scrolls 5
Oh
Skyrim.
yeah, yeah. It's
Uh,
weird that Skyrim. Totally forgot about it, and it's such a fan favorite.
Hmm.
it played really good on the 360, and it was probably maybe more made for a PC. I don't know, but it played great. I sunk hours into that game,
Hmm.
going into dungeons and just going off on my own path and and you become a wizard at one point, and then you start getting the thieves guild, and you're going all over the place. And
Yeah. It is. It's interesting about like this conversation. One of the things that actually hearing you mention Skyrim is I've tried that game 2 or 3 times and I can't get into it. And I think a lot of what is required in the CRPG world is right place, right time in your life to be able to devote that much time and that much development just to get into the game. Because a lot of these don't have explosive opening events where you're off to the races, right? Like Skyrim is really slow in the beginning. Well, not in the very beginning. I think you're trying to break out of jail, right?
the
But
classic. You're arrested and you're on some cart,
Hmm.
yeah,
and then the dragon attacks you, and that's how you get out.
that's right. And even in
Mhm.
like Baldur's Gate 3, if I recall correctly, Eric, it was that, and I should know because I've played through it twice, but I think you're stranded somewhere, right? And then you've got to you the ship crashes and
Yeah,
you're a
you're in
prisoner.
the Illithid Nautiloid and it crashes.
Right. And so there's a little bit of a slow development, and actually a lot of the RPGs typically are not super difficult, but the difficulty level is at least higher in the beginning than it's going to be towards the middle and the end of the game as you raise up in power. So there's a lot of time that does have to happen in these games, and a lot of trial and error and a lot of dying that has to happen before you learn how to play the game or at least learn how to level up properly. And yeah, it just requires the right place, right time in your life, I think, for you to actually have that time to do that. Otherwise it's like, yeah, I think this game just didn't click with me, right? And that's Skyrim every time. It's not that it's a bad game, it's just that at the time I got other things to do.
Mhm.
Whereas with Baldur's Gate 3 this go round, I didn't have other things to do necessarily. So that's why that game clicked, I think, more so than Skyrim did at the time.
Mhm.
I did find there's this website that ranks the best RPGs of all time, and
Oh
number
yeah.
one they actually have The Witcher 3, then
The-
Fallout New
it's up
Vegas,
there.
Mhm.
then The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. I know you're saying that maybe not a
But neither is
RPG.
Witcher 3, though. Neither is Witcher 3.
Yeah, yeah,
Like, based off of our
uh,
debate last time, right? Because your choices don't really
right.
matter.
Then they
You're
say
just playing through a script.
Skyrim, Fallout 3, Pokemon Red and Blue. Is that an RPG?
I don't
Never
know.
played it.
I don't know anything about them. My kids, I think, play
Uh,
it.
Fable.
Never played that.
El-
Fable, you do get to pick your alignment paths, right?
Yeah.
Elder Scrolls 4. Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. That's a good one.
For
Played that one.
sure.
Dragon
For
Age
sure. That is a really good one.
Origins.
Also really good.
Diablo 2. Is that an RPG?
It's an action RPG because you can add to your stats, but
If
you're
the
not
action you
making
like is
moral
clicking a mouse,
choices.
then yeah, that's a
Yeah.
great one.
Yeah. Well, it's
Legend of
Gauntlet.
Zelda: A
Was
Link to the
Gauntlet an
Past
RPG?
is an RPG.
No, it's not.
I don't. They're adding some stuff I don't think are RPGs. Is BioShock an RPG? They have BioShock.
No. No.
No.
No, I
No.
don't think so.
BioShock was
Very good game.
an FPS.
Yeah, but very good game, but not an RPG.
I was kind of pissed when BioShock came out because they touted it as like, oh, we have this whole revolutionary new morality system, and it was really just do the good thing or the evil thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's super revolutionary.
But it was a good game.
I mean, maybe, but I got to my first good and evil choice and was like, is this the rest of the fucking game? Excuse my French. And I was like, yeah, it is. And then I stopped playing.
Yeah, it's too bad. It's too bad because it was a good game. But it suffered from the Peter Molyneux thing. Where they promise the world and it's just a game.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's been hour and 30 minutes. Any final thoughts, you guys? Are you gonna go out and buy that PlayStation Pro next month or whatever?
I'm not going to.
I'm gonna get 6 of them.
Yeah.
All
And
you
then
needed to
flip
get
them.
was the disc drive, dude.
And then
And
flip
flip
them for a
those.
profit.
Flipping
Yeah.
for a profit.
Did you guys see the trailer for Venom 3?
Uh-uh.
Yeah,
They,
I saw it.
They introduced Null, the god of
Well, they briefly showed him, but
yeah.
I'm not a fan of Noel because I think he came in the comic books like way late. Like
Well, I think they added him 2-3 years ago.
it wasn't. Yeah, I don't know. I'm a fan of the stuff from the '90s when Venom was created. So any of the
I
new
mean,
stuff, I don't know.
Oh.
I'm a fan of Tom Hardy talking to himself.
The problem again with those Venom movies, there's no Spider-Man. They can make the ultimate Spider-Man movie if they have Venom in it, and they do a good job with the story. And there's some amazing comic books that they had Venom in Spider-Man stories, and they could do some of those. And I'm just flabbergasted they haven't done some of that yet. So, yeah. I mean, I didn't see the Carnage movie with Venom yet either. I've just seen the first one,
Yeah.
but we'll see. Dathan, have you seen the Transformers movie yet?
Thursday.
Thursday. You
I'm
saw it
gonna watch
Thursday,
it.
or you're
No,
seeing it Thursday?
I'm gonna watch it this coming Thursday.
Oh, okay. I saw their
Yeah.
special screenings on Saturday, tomorrow, but like tomorrow's Civil War, so like I'm not going anywhere. It could be really bad for the Ducks. I don't know. I'm worried. I'm worried.
Well, it could be really good for a lot of people who got value on the bet. It was a 22-point spread in the beginning of the year. 22 and a
Yeah.
half is what they were giving the Beavs.
Man,
Now
we could
we'll
talk
see.
about football real quick. Like I was so
Yeah.
pissed off at the Ducks last week, Dathan. I almost text you. Like I was about ready to throw my phone. I was pissed. Like why can they not stop the run? I know Boise State had a good running back, but
They have a good running back.
my
But they
God!
also
And
have
then
injuries. They also have injuries though at their lines on
the
both sides,
fumbles.
right?
I literally had to walk away in the fourth quarter, and then they came back. But I don't know.
I think
How
they'll
you
get.
how you
I
feeling,
think they'll
dude, going in
kind
tomorrow?
of get it together tomorrow.
I think it'll be fun.
They better.
I'm gonna go Ducks 38, Beavers 24.
They got to be able to
38-24.
run the ball, and I don't know why they can't run the ball yet. It's a joke. Yeah, well, Eric's laughing.
Well, I just sports commentary always boils down to the same like tropes. You throw the ball,
You got to
hit
run
know
the
what?
ball.
Well,
you catch the ball. It's not a hard game.
It's such a hype thing. Like, and sports always ends up disappointing me every time. There's a few times where your team will go and win the championship. It's very few,
Very rare,
and man,
unless you're the New York Yankees.
yeah, and you can just buy your team.
Unless your
Just
team is in
buy your way
Boston.
in.
No,
Right.
I think that as a Beaver fan, this is the plight of the Beaver fan is you're going to think, okay, maybe tomorrow it's going to finally spoil it, right? But it's not going to happen. Ducks will figure it out. They have
I
some
think
injuries on the line, and it'll just it'll
My
be fine.
biggest concern now is not the game itself tomorrow, not the game next year. It's after next year, because the rumor is that this game is going to be not played for quite some time because of the non-conference slate and the buyouts that they have to do with other teams. So
I heard that.
enjoy the game tomorrow, enjoy the game next year,
and then it'll be gone.
It's probably gone.
Yeah, that's right. Now, what I think is more, if you're a Washington State fan, you got to be kind of mad because your home field game, in order to get this game done, is at Lumen Field,
right?
Which is a
so
5-minute
it's like a
drive for a
home game for the Huskies.
Yeah. So you got to be kind of like, is it even worth it? Like, it's not.
Well, but they get to have the game for 5 years.
Yes, they get to have it for 5 because they
years,
agreed to that, though. So now they're just going to get beat for 5 years in a row, and that's not going to be any fun.
Travis, what do you think about the new Pac-12? while we're
You mean the
talking
Pack
about it.
6?
Yeah, like
I liked
are
it
you
better when it was
excited?
the Pack 2.
Are you-
No,
You
I
did?
wanted it to be the Pack 2
They-
for
I think they should
decades.
have just killed it. Like I don't know. Like
Well, yeah, because the rumor was that they were going to split off to I don't remember what conference, but you know, somebody was going to take the two teams and call it a day. Now that you've got, well, I don't know. I mean, at the end of the day, I don't really care. It just
I
everything
just
has
think they're all
happened.
crap.
Yeah,
Boise
I mean,
State's the best one.
yeah, that's my point. Is I mean, I guess you can kind of dominate, maybe, but Boise
Chris,
State
do you
looked
have an
really good.
opinion on it?
I mean, the question is who's going to be 1 and who's going to be number 2 in the Pac-2.
Right.
Are
That
both are
that was going to be my favorite. Yeah.
Chris, is your dad going to the game tomorrow? I know my dad probably is.
I don't know, honestly. I haven't talked to my dad about that.
Our parents used to go had season tickets to the Beaver game, so
Nice.
I'll have to
Yeah, so
text them.
they'd go. I mean,
But-
if to be honest, if the Beavs can pull it off, then they'll be number 1 in the pack too. You know, this is their one chance, and the Ducks are going to get healthy, and that's really what it comes down to.
Well,
And this week Dan Lanning said
They've
that
been
he had what?
They've
no,
been
no,
healthy.
they've got injuries,
Who's
big
been
injuries on their lines.
Their
I don't
offensive
know.
line has been
Yeah.
hurt since the first game.
Yeah, and
Oh,
that's
okay.
that's why you guys are struggling.
I thought they were just new guys.
No.
Well, there's that too, but not really. I mean, it's just that the offensive line isn't healthy. And I thought you had injuries at the defensive positions too. I thought that was also part of your issue, but I could be wrong on that. I do know that Lanning said that the offensive line players are game time decisions right now. So that's coach speak for they're going to play. And he just doesn't want to tell the Beavs that. At least usually, right?
Yeah.
That would be coach speak for that. So I don't know. We'll see. I think that the Beavs will stub their toe big time, and the Ducks will just run up and down on them, and that'll be the end of that. But we'll see. I hope not, but you know, I feel that by me not having any faith, that'll give them more. That'll give them, you know, the
If
karma
you
they
thought-
need to actually win.
If you guys are on X, there's some pretty ridiculous Beaver fans on there, and I
Don't
almost
be that,
feel
don't
like
be
I
that
want to
guy.
troll them.
Yeah.
Like they got some.
Yeah.
They
No.
are in their own little bubble.
Yeah. No, and Dan
And-
Lanning's a very good coach. The team is very good. So they're just right now they're just struggling. I think because of injury. We'll see. I mean, now granted, these are teams that they were supposed to beat by like 40 to 50 points. So
Yeah.
we'll see. You know,
If you guys are
that
out
is
in
shocking.
the chat still, yeah, the game we're talking about is the Civil War, or if they call it the Civil War anymore, Dathan. But
Mm-mm.
the Oregon and Oregon State are playing tomorrow on Fox, 12:30 Pacific time, probably I guess 3:30 Eastern time. So it should be nationally televised. So
But it is at 12 tomorrow. It's at noon
12:30.
kickoff. Okay.
Yeah. So hopefully my wife will make some guacamole and we'll have a good time. But anyway, we'll end it there. I really appreciate you guys. Good show. We'll see you on the next one. I appreciate all my new followers. We're almost at 1,000 on my channel, so we're getting there. Ace of Jack's Media Grounds, go like and hit subscribe to his channel and watch him watch Twilight.
It's apparently gotten some traction. I'm getting comments on it now.
Have
even
you?
Now.
It's right. This weekend is the Twilight Festival in Forks. I'm surprised you're on
Oh.
right now. You should be in
Is
Forks.
it?
Go.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you're not a guest speaker.
Did you are you using? Be sure to put hashtags in the comments, and are you tagging the video like I don't know, Jacob loves.
Mm-hmm. Team
What,
Jacob.
what tags are you using? Yeah, Team Jacob. What are you doing?
Uh-huh.
You need hashtag free VIP tickets to the festival in Forks, and then
I'm
Yeah,
Harry like a werewolf.
Right.
You know?
No, I haven't been using hashtags. I think the original video I used.
You got to put it in so it shows up in the Google search. Yeah, seriously.
We need to
We'll get you trained.
internet
We'll get you
optimize this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Anyway, Dathan, thank you, sir. Appreciate you. Eric, thank you, sir. Glad you're here.
Yep.
Travis, go Ducks.
That's fine. I will say I enjoy listening to Dan Lanning's interviews. He's actually turned it so that I'm a bit of a Duck fan as far as I'm a Dan Lanning fan.
He's a good he's very thoughtful.
I think I could hang with that guy.
Yeah.
He seems all right.
Yeah, he seems cool. And he's only 30 something.
Yeah.
He's younger than all of us.
By the way, though, Chip Kelly became that too, though, recently.
30 something?
Oh.
No. He became somebody that I think is actually likable now.
Mm.
Which is odd because he was extremely unlikable when he was coach of the Ducks, unless you were a Duck fan. But now that he's kind of gotten a little bit of some humble pie, I think he's funny.
Where is he now? Isn't he an offensive coordinator somewhere?
Yeah.
At Ohio State.
At Ohio State.
Of course. Oh, that'll be interesting if he comes
but
back.
What
I
liked it when he had to put that little suit on and do his little
well, he was a fast talker. Not only did the team play fast, but he was talking like this. Blah 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 blah. I was like, whoa, calm down, bro.
And he talked out the side of his mouth too, which made me laugh. But yelling at fans and telling them to shut up and stuff, I thought was annoying.
Oh yeah, right.
But he was also dominating, which was also annoying. You know what I mean? Like as a Beaver fan, he was just. I did not like him then. Now I kind of like him. So yeah,
okay.
It's one of those things.
Chris, who are you liking tomorrow?
Tomorrow?
Yeah.
Washington State. I mean, I don't know. I haven't paid attention to anything this year.
Oh, yeah, that's the other thing. I think the Apple Cup is going on at the same time the Civil War is.
It is.
No.
Same time.
What the frick is going on with that? How can they not schedule them so they're at least back to back? Come on.
Oh, because nobody who's a Washington fan is going to watch an Oregon game.
Yeah, and I mean,
I'll root for Washington State every day.
Okay.
I'd love to see the Huskies lose.
Yeah, it's
I just know Tua needs to retire after Thursday.
Poor guy. Yeah.
Got to keep your health.
Anyway, guys, if there's anyone else left in the chat, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. We'll see you next